BA.5 is actually, it's not as closely related to the original Omicron variant. It does seem to be more closely associated actually with the original SARS-CoV-2 virus that we saw in 2019, 2020, at the start of 2020. So all these mutations happen through random events. We can't predict when or where they will happen. It is due partly to the pressure that we're putting on the virus with high rates of vaccination and treatment. And it is true that BA.5 is more transmissible than some of the other variants that we have seen to date, but it does not seem to be causing more severe infection. And people who are vaccinated are still protected against severe infection and are certainly protected against death. And actually, many of the hospitalizations, people hospitalized, are hospitalized for a different reason and happen to have COVID because the numbers of cases are increasing. We're starting to see just a very small uptick in the number of deaths, but we're down in the US to about 400 a day, which is very different from the 2,000 per day that we had at the height of Omicron.
From a symptom perspective, are you seeing anything different from the prior strains and anything that worries you?
We're not seeing a change, but we do understand a little bit more about symptoms now. We know you can have symptoms and your rapid test can be negative, so it's worthwhile testing again. If you've had exposure and you have symptoms, it's worth being cautious. And your first test is negative, be sure to test again in a day or two. Fever, headache, cough, sore throat. Some people have muscle aches and pains. In Bermuda, at least another 20% of people are not vaccinated. So take the time, make sure the people around you are protected. Be sure you're vaccinated and get a booster if you are eligible for the booster. You also take care of your mental health and be sure that you spend time with people who you care about, people who care about you. That's another burden from the COVID epidemic that we have seen increases in depression and anxiety, and that's also something that we need to think about.